Hello friends, hello everyone. May the 20th today. 3 large solar flares in the last 24 hours. Just here you see the graph. Yeah, and the bigger one here was 8.9, almost the next flare. Yeah, I saw that coming. It's pretty clear as an astrologer that these are extreme energies. This is the heliocentric chart of that big flare today, the M8.9 for Greenwich, and you see in heliocentric we have this grand square, the Mars-Saturn opposition, which just was within a day or so of the Jupiter-Taurus entry, which I said would solidify that momentum. That's the general steadying, and in that sense, the general within each one of us, we are the ones who we have been waiting for, period. What we see in the chart is reflecting what our energy as a collective humanity is about to expand into. Mercury turned direct, Jupiter into Taurus, and the heliocentric Mars-Saturn opposition in those initial degrees of the mutual signs. Very, very powerful place in the zodiac. This is the third sign of the season, the one which brings resolution. This is always the sequence. Cardinal initiates, fixed stabilizes, and then mutual disintegrates and also culminates these energies, brings them to a real crescendo. So the mutual signs here, that mutual cross with actually Earth and Sedna still in the final degree of fixed signs, really an interesting mix. This is, so it's an out of sign grand square, you could say. This axis is still in the old sign, this is in the new. So the Earth here in the last degree of Scorpio, yes, this is a very transformative place, deeply restructuring itself from deep within, and that is happening as we speak today. There is strong energies coming in from the cosmos. Not only has there been these 3 big flares, but also the solar wind is above normal. Let me just renew it. It's between 500 and 600. Yes, you see right now we are reading at 588.5 kilometers per second. That is the exhaust coming from the sun our way. That's how fast it moves, still 93 million miles away from the sun. That gives you a bit of an idea of the power of that little blip of light in the sky. That's about as much as we know from the sun. And so the sun in Taurus, naturally, last degree of Taurus, here conjunct Sedna, who plays a crucial role in this transformation, in this coming to age with reality, embracing what is real. And Sedna in that sense is a treasure trove, coming back from an 11,000 year cycle into the inner solar system, seeding its information, all it has assembled along the way, being the observer of what has been going on. So it's really a cosmic library, Sedna at best. And mythologically, Sedna, the goddess Sedna, an Inuit goddess, she rules the deep sea, all the sea creatures, and as we know, the deep sea is less known than the outer space. There's so many mysteries deep within the oceans and within Earth itself. So that is all connected in the last degree of Taurus, and Sedna entering Gemini, first time in 11,000 plus years in June, on the 15th of June. For a short few weeks there will be a dip into this energy, and then naturally for 1 or 2 more years there will be this waving forth and back over that boundary. But the first ignition of that new revelation, bringing it into the vocal space, into a real manifestation, naturally resonating with that Mars-Saturn opposition. So there's a great deal of confrontational energy in a grand square. It's really the 4 corners working in reinforcing something new, laying the foundations. Literally, that's what it is. It's then inserted here. We have this beautiful other structure, this big trine here. It's actually a trine, a triangle consisting of a square. Heliocentric this is here. So Venus and Mercury are in a square aspect, which never can be seen from Earth because we are looking from a different angle. However, as seen from the Sun, naturally they can have all kinds of configurations. So we have this perfect square cardinal, Venus conjunct Ceres, and focusing on none the less than Uranus. How beautiful is this? It really is showing this is a rebirth on a very deep level, which happens these days, presently, as we speak, between May I would say the 17th up to the 26th. This is a powerful window of recreation, actually synchronizes with the Mayan calendar. Let me just quickly take you there as I start speaking of it. So here you see the 3 spikes of today. If we look at it in a greater perspective, these were the last 3 days alone, and this is the full picture, the last 7 days, and this is the spike we saw just half an hour before Jupiter entered Taurus. A clear cosmic signal, something was energized in a very, very strong way, giving it a real push, a real boost. And I can tell you, I mean, we're doing it. We all are assigned to a certain job, a certain natural occurrence within our lives. We have been just brought to this place with all our life experiences. This is a culmination we are in right now over the next few weeks. I said it will be great and difficult, yes. However, we carry the instructions as we speak, as we go one step at a time. We know what the next step is to take, really, like the beautiful image of the hermit in the tarot, the 9th great arcana card. It's the hermit. It's dark night. All he has a little lantern to see the next step, and the story is he can travel 10,000 miles. This is all you need to see one step ahead, and we always have that. That is the gift of our present times. It is that wonderful orchestration of cosmic energies which is feeding us, which is giving us that exact right intuition and insight at the right moment with this Uranus here. Yes, and this is really an activation we are seeing today. Particularly so as this is the degree, the 9th degree of Gemini. You can go back into the library here. That was on January 12th when Mars turned direct in this degree, 8:36 or something, I think, or 807 it was, right, something in that range, but it really within less than half a degree of this, and the same degree that was where the comet ZTF, that green comet, that green mystery comet, nobody really saw. But I mean, it was a strong influence, a small billiard ball pushed into the inner solar system to recharge, to reconfigure the energies, bringing in the secret codes, really. If you go back, you can see also what magenta pixie transmitted from the 9. That comet played a very crucial role. Comets are wild cards, naturally. Anyway, just this was the degree when Mars and the comet both, and they have a connection, that comet and Mars, as I have illustrated in several videos. So Mars again plays a crucial role in this chart too, as we see, not only here heliocentrically, but let's just go into the geocentric picture here for a minute. I know I'm jumping all over the board, sorry about that. It's just I again go just with whatever is. So this is the can I bring it up? This is the one I want. Right, this is now the, no, it's still the heliocentric. Okay, let me change this. I thought I had the geocentric on this board. No, 18, what is it? 1903. Okay, just bear with me. Here we are, geocentric, and we go. Okay, so we spoke of Mars. And now this is the geocentric perspective, and you see there's another opposition here in the geocentric, also involving Mars, between Mars and Pluto. Getting exact sometime the next couple days. And I will make another video particularly showing you the extremely powerful structures we see in the sky right now. It's literally, and I can say it from my personal life, it's been going crazy. Challenging events, we all mastered it favorably, but it's been quite a ride. Last week my wife was in hospital for a few days. The energies just sometimes are too strong to be they go really deep. It's a restructuring on a very deep level that's happening, and I said it was kind of my image I got is like we're pushing hard on the accelerator. That's what's happening. It's like you're in a racing car and you're punching up another notch, changing gears up, moving ever faster. It's scary at times. It's mind-blowing. It's unnerving. It's challenging. It's nice. It's also very, very exciting. Nevertheless, I mean, with Uranus so strong. Yeah, Uranus now in the 20th degree of Taurus. Uranus was for many weeks and months actually where it stationed last time, and it made its maximum in the 19th degree, which is that new continent rising. That's the Sabian symbol for that 19th degree, which was all that excitement, which we all can feel. Something new is coming. It's not yet fully here. It's just about that point where that build up from the ocean floor over thousands of years is reaching the surface of the ocean, starts poking through. You here and there you can see it when a wave is a little bit giving way to a valley. You can see, okay, something is really coming up there. And this is also the story of Haumea, interestingly enough, who is in Scorpio now, heliocentrically. It's really, something is brewing there big time. So now Uranus in the 20th degree of Taurus. Wisps of wing-like clouds streaming across the sky. Just even close your eyes and see that. Wisps of wing-like clouds. Keynotes the awareness of spiritual forces at work. I guess there's no question. We all know that. It's become so clear. There is higher guidance. There is a coming together in miraculous ways. It's all happening. Just look at the US, for example, with Kari Lake in Arizona, a prime example of how things finally go the right direction. Now she's allowed to present her evidence to the court, which was denied before. So this is a big step. I see actually really a big revolution from the grassroots taking physical form in June in the nation south from me. I'm trying to not use any key trigger words here, so that's I got the warning, so I'm careful. Anyway, the Mars-Pluto opposition with Jupiter in the middle. I saw that weeks ago. I said this would be a phase of extreme solar activity, and here we are in the middle of it, and it's still building, because the extreme powerful climax will be coming over the next 3-4 days into the 24th, and then ongoing from the 24th into early June. That structure here, geocentrically between Mars, Pluto and Jupiter, will still be very strong, as planets will move in a way that the midpoint of Mars and Pluto will be always held by Jupiter and the nodes then coming into over the days. So this structure here, which is at the core of this powerful solar bursts we are seeing right now, as we are really in the maximum now. As I showed you from latest evidence, the maximum is expected to already arrive in the last months of 2023, which is a full year ahead of schedule. I guess we pushed the accelerator. Yes, it is true. The sun is our expression. The sun is the energy we are expressing through as a collective. That's how intimately connected everything is in this universe. Can be clearly seen. I demonstrated it in multiple charts and videos, how events on Earth are mirroring what's going up just on the sun. Just reminding you, there were these really huge solar flares within 24 hours of 911 before it started. Before Fukushima went off, there was an extreme solar flare, and other occasions too. They're too numerous. It's very far from being a coincidence. It's kind of like a first ripple, which is, you could say, even triggering the event on planet Earth, but it's it goes both ways. So it's also it's a real correspondence. These energies are in touch with each other and are answering to each other, you could even say. Interesting also here on this today's big solar flare, the sun, Venus in the 14th degree of Cancer. That is where the new world sun is. Those of you who are familiar with my way of saying this is the chart for the Declaration of Independence of July the 4th, 1776. Yes, that was kind of the foundation of a whole new world. And we're just coming out of the infancy into the real manifestation of the potential of what that idea, that powerful idea of rebirth after or simultaneous to the French Revolution, in that really amazing time of humanity seeing the potentials of freedom and liberty in their full glory. That's when that foundation was laid. I mean, this is the sun of that July 4th, 1776 chart. And it so happens that Uranus in that chart is at 8 degrees 55 in Gemini. I mean, you can't really make these things up. And that is the degree we just talked before about where Mars and the comet changed direction, went into forward motion, outer expression, January 12th, March 5th, respectively. So the moon here today with this big flare, I mean, it's uncanny. It's the activation of those codes which we are seeing big time right now. It's probably, aside from the huge solar flares, I hope this will be a deeply internal event which is really illuminating our inner sparks, our inner triggers, you could say, which would open new doors into new dimensions. It is us coming to age. All the wizards and warlocks from Atlantis, who obviously have planned for this, traveled into the future to generate the vision, and then everything in nature is growing towards that vision in a natural, organic way, and then it comes to fruition. It is as existence works. Everything starts with an idea, with a thought, with a projection, with a vision, and that is what we are seeing to come full circle. The 9 talked about that, magenta pixie again. So anyway, that Sun-Sedna conjunction of today is extremely rich. It's a bounty, a real treasure cove, you could say, is unveiled here. You see with Ceres conjunct the part of fortune, Orcus. So Ceres being the earth goddess and nurturing, giving what is necessary on this level of organic nature of how these fundamental processes are coming together and helping and assisting each other. Very, very beautiful in Virgo with the Virgo rising. And then Orcus, yes, Orcus, alchemy, a deep restructuring, redefinition of energies. It is also the idea of alchemy is rising above duality. This is happening as we speak. As I said, this is the foundation chart. And now let's go one step further into the special times we are in. The Mayan calendar being the reference point as revealed, brought back to life by Jose Argüelles, also called the dream spell. And on that note, I just want to quickly throw in there are 17 different versions of Mayan calendars out there. Aluna Joy, in her really good book, Introduction into the Mayan calendar, she speaks in the foreword that yes, about these 17 versions. And the reason for that is when the conquistadores came, the Spaniards in the 16th century, to invade these Mayan nations, they would take advantage of understanding the Mayans calendar and then go and do horrible things on days of festivity where they were celebrating, massacre them down and things like that. Really, really terrible how our history was. And again, this is something we have to come to terms with and see it as just probably a preparation for where we are today. We had to go through these experiences collectively. Anyway, the story is that they became more intelligent and started to put out wrong calendars in order to misguide the conquistadores, so they wouldn't be able to get them on those sacred days. So the real count, the real sacred count, went really deep into the cellar and was brought back by also Jose Arguelles, who had a direct non-physical connection with those Mayan elders who were instructing him to give that back to humanity. So that's the little story there. And again, those of you new to the Mayan calendar, you can go to the cosmoswithin.org. My private website is and yeah, here you see the full address, cosmoswithin.org, which I can't access anymore, and this is a page I had started working on more than 20 years ago. Anyway, this is the basics, and what we are here today is Sri Manik. That is the blue electric hand, which is in service, which is electrifying and fast, as all number threes are an activation day for sure in many, many ways. It's the second of 10 galactic activation portals from yesterday, the 19th of May, and actually yesterday a new can I say it? Sometimes I'm losing my words. I better show you here. Here it is. A new supernova was discovered yesterday on the 19th. I found that very interesting. Actually, it is in the constellation of the Great Dipper. Yes, it's very faint. It's 21 million light years away, as my research showed, in the Pinwheel galaxy. And this is the little spot which was brightening up thousands of times from what it originally was, giving that ability to be seen from 21 million light years away. So this event, according to this hypothesis of astronomy, which again we do not know is it true, but if that's the case, then this event happened 21 million years ago and has just arrived in our world as something to be recognized and seen. I find that really amazing. The last larger, closer supernova in our local universe happened in 1987, right? That was the last really close one, and still that was 170,000 light years away in our sister galaxy. And the last, which was within our Milky Way, dates back to the 17th century, early 17th century, 1609 and 1604. There were two in that area. Anyway, that's just a short story. 1987 is definitely ringing a bell. That was the year of the great conversion, something like that. I've sometimes words, as I say, fall out of my mind. Anyway, I just wanted to share this one too. This is kind of interesting, but let's go back to the Mayan calendar. This is just kind of a confirmation again of the specialness our present path is on. What's upcoming. So from the 19th to the 28th, we are in this first column of core days, of not core, galactic activation portals, which is an overlay of a higher frequency band which becomes tangible and manifest in our dimensions. See the double pyramid here, that beautiful kind of, it's almost looking like an ant, a living being with legs. It's really something about the fractal of life itself. It also resonates with the star tetrahedron in some way or other. Anyway, so we have 10 portal days, galactic activation portals between the 19th to 28th, and then we're getting into the core column, and then it gets really, really juicy. Actually, on June the 3rd, that is till the June 22nd, and between June the 4th into the 28th, Neptune will be having crossed the line of 2730 in Pisces, 2730, entering the last 2.5 degrees for the first time, just for a short period of 4 weeks or so. In that sense, that is the Aquarian dwad of Pisces. Very interesting. The dwad which has the sub-ruler Uranus. Again, Uranus. And let me just finish there on that Uranus. I'm really jumping around today, sorry. So that is the wisps of wing-like clouds streaming across the sky, that 20th degree of Taurus, the awareness of spiritual forces at work. And the keyword here is receiving blessings. Okay, I'm okay with that. Anyway, that's the long story for today. I will just actually have the charts here of these other two charts. Let's quickly show them, the three flares, the three big flares today. The 6.5 at 7:32 a.m. The moon here in the 7th degree of Gemini, and then the larger one, the 8.9, and then the third one was the 5.7, and here in particularly as being the final big bang on the drum, at least for now. I think there will be more coming in the next few days, but Maki Salasya, that opposition which is active between 2016 and 2033, which is really that joy of being strong, Maki, and taking chances, of remodeling society, a deep love for what is. It is that work on what has been spoiled, which is very much this frequency here Maki has been in for the last few years at least. It's kind of rattling what is out of structure and bringing in that shininess of almost in an ecstatic place of just enjoying life, enjoying the frequencies of water and fire meeting, of that reflections on the lake. Salasya is the wife of Neptune, playing a super powerful, important role in order to purify Neptune. That's what will be very highlighted in that window between June the 4th and the 28th. And then just one last reference to the Mayan calendar. Again, in that next final 10 days of galactic activation energy will be June 28th to July the 7th. Again, these might be days you want to cross on your calendar as enjoying the intensity and the kind of everything coming together as one. That central column particularly is where time is collapsing, where the now becomes so strong, the current of what is now in this moment kind of fades out, everything that has been and that will be. That's kind of the frequency. There's this peak intensity. Yes, it will be great and difficult both, and we have all the tools in our quiver, which brings me back to the Sabian symbol of that 9th degree of Gemini, which is so all over super important as having been that initial degree of new motion, new forward motion for not just Mars but also the green comet. The 9th degree of Gemini is a quiver filled with arrows, and the keyword there is Rudyard is giving. And again, for those new, this is the book, the work I'm referring to, the Sabian symbols. Powerful images for each degree of the zodiac, a quiver filled with arrows, and the keyword is conquest. That's what we are on, and soon it will be the most spectacular victory that is coming. This summer will be hot, not just on in the ordinary way, but it will be spectacular. It will be really, really amazing. Again, thank you. I'm enjoying sharing my excitement. I hope I can kind of light you a bit more on too, as we are serving this reality, surfing in the way of being a surfer on a surfboard on top of that huge wave, enjoying that chaotic zone of foam and of sparkles, intensity, presence, love for what is. Again, yes, thank you, and talk to you soon.